जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरंगो गंधर्विका गिरिधारी जी की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरंगो श्री राधा मदन मोहन पंचतत्त्वात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरंगो श्री राधा नयननाथ जी की जय। जय श्री गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ देव की जय। जय नित्य लीला पृष्ठों विष्णुपाद परमहंसास्तत्र सचशिला भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय नित्य लीला पृष्ठों विष्णुपाद परमहंसास्तत्र सचशिला भक्ति दैता माधव गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय नित्य लीला पृष्ठों विष्णुपाद परमहंसास्तत्र सचशिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। जय परमहंसा शिला गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय शिशिला सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। जय वैष्णव सर्वम शिला जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय श्री रूपानुग गुरुवरे की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपी गोवर्धन वृंदावन श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंदात्मक श्री ब्रज मंदिर की जय। जय श्री नवदीप धाम की जय। जय श्री पुरुषोत्तम धाम की जय। जय श्री बालोदेव सुभद्रा जगन्नाथ श्री सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय। जय श्री वृंदा देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। जय सर्व विघ्न विनाशनकारी श्री नृसिंह देव की जय। जय श्री हरिवासर तिथि बरा की जय। जय श्री मोहिनी एकादशी तिथि बरा की जय। जय श्री एकादशी व्रत की जय। जय व्रत पालनकारी भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री अम्बरीश महाराज की जय। जय श्री श्रीवास आंगने श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तनकारी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जय समागत भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर परमानंदे हरि बोल। वंदे हम श्री गुरो श्री जुता पादा कमला श्री गुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्री रूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च शुद्धा भक्ता चरणरेणु भजनयानुकूला भक्ता सेवा परम सिद्धि प्रेमलोति करमूला माधवतीति भक्ति जननी जतने पालन करी कृष्ण वासति वासति बोली परमयादरे बोरी गौराया मारे जे सबस्थाने करालो ब्राह्मण रंगे से सबस्थान हेरिबोयामि प्रणयी भक्त संगे Mridanga Bada Shunite Mon Abasara Sadadache Gaura Bihito Kirtana Shuni Anande Hridoyo Nache Jugala Murti Dekhiyamon Paramayananda Hoy Prasada Seva Korite Hoy Sakala Prapancha Joy Jedino Grihe Bhajana Deki Grihete Goloko Bhai Charana Sidhu Dekhiya Ganga Sukhana Sima Pai Tulasi Dekhi Juraya Pran Madhavato Shani Jani Gaura Priya Shaka Sevone Jibono Sarthakamani Bhakati Vinodo Krishna Bhajane Anukulo Paijaha Prati Divose Paramasuke Sikara Koro Yetaha Shudha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanayo Nukula Bhakata Seva Paramasidi Premaloti Karamula Jaya Madhava Titi Jaya Ekadashi Titi Jaya Madhava Titi Jaya Ekadashi Titi Jaya Madhava Titi Jaya Haribasar Titi Jaya Madhava Titi Jaya Haribasar Titi Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol 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 Hari Bol. Today is very auspicious day, Mohini Ekadashi. Before we started during COVID time these online programs, but before we had in Skype, only those who were in that group So when I was doing kirtan, then everyone also doing kirtan in their own place, because it is not possible online one after another. Then because they quit Skype, they cancelled Skype, so we started here on Facebook. So those who are new, every devotional form has to be done together with kirtan. That is why in Gauriya Math, before and after Harikatha, there is always some kirtan. That is why also I am doing, and you can follow in your own place together at the same time. So today is very auspicious day, Mohini Ekadashi. We heard some Ekadashis back how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu observed from early morning, started kirtan together with his associates, and whole day and whole night they were doing with devotion to Krishna, with all good qualities, and fasting from eating, sleeping and drinking. They could do, but we should do as much as possible for us, fasting, and also we should increase our bhajan on this day, because we will get million times more devotional benefit, and Krishna will be happy more, because today his enjoyment desire is increased. So if you do service, then you will get more devotional benefit. And we are hearing, one second, I have to open. We already started for preparation for Nrisingha Chaturdashi, because this topic is very long, and only on Nrisingha Chaturdashi every year we did just like in brief, but this year I wanted we should do like more in details. So we heard Hiranyakashipu became angry on Sanda and Tamarka. Why you taught this Vishnu Bhakti to my son? Then Sanda and Tamarka said, we did not teach him, and also no one else did. This devotion to Vishnu is his innate in him, it is natural in him. One second. I have to open by this. One second. It is Naisargic devotion, natural. And our Gurudev explained because in Satyuga no one was lying. So Hiranyakashipu believed them that they are speaking the truth. Then Narad said, when Hiranyakashipu received this reply from the teachers, he again addressed his son Prahlad. Inauspicious child, if you have not received this way of thinking from your teachers, from where have you received it? Then this is very important verse. Our Gurudev used to tell many times. Shri Prahlad Uvach. Matir na Krishne parato svato va. Mito bipadeta griha bratanam. Adanta gobir vishatam tamisram. Punah charvita charvananam. Prahlad replied, for those attached to household life, who enter hell by uncontrolled senses and chew what has been chewed already, inclination to the Lord does not arise either by others' influence, by one's own efforts, or by the combination of both. This Krishna moti means inclination, or your mind fixed on Krishna. This Prahlad Maharaj is telling, it cannot be gotten from anyone who is Griha Brata. Our Gurudev explained, Griha Brata has many meanings. One is like house, one is with wife, one is Atma inside the gross and subtle bodies. All these are houses. So one who is attached to these and moving around them and trying to satisfy, he has no control over senses, and he is chewing what has already been chewed again and again, same this material happiness he wants to get. So such a person by himself cannot bring his mind to Krishna, or with the help of others who are like this, or by the combination of both. Means no conditioned soul or altogether they can give devotion to Krishna. That is not possible. So Prahlad said, I did not get from others, it is not coming from my side. Having evil hearts and thinking that sense enjoyment has value, they do not know that the valuable goal is Vishnu. This Nate viduh svarta gatim hi Vishnu. They don't know that their real benefit is Vishnu. Just as blind men lead other blind men into a ditch, bound by the ropes of Vedic instructions on rituals, that is karma kand, and binding others in the same way, they fall into the dark well of material existence. Some days back I told, one advocate, barrister, came to Gauriya Mat Bagh Bazar, and he was seeing diorama exhibition of spiritual some, and there was some malpractices also of Apa Sampradayas. They were depicted so that people will not be misled. So that barrister became little disturbed. Why you are insulting people? He asked Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada said, this is not meant to insult anyone. It is to show the wrong practices in the name of Gauriya Vaishnavas. He was trying to explain him. Then that barrister said, oh, you want to convert me? Then Prabhupada said, yes, I want to convert you. And it will not take more than 5 minutes to convert you. If you give me little attention, and when you will understand that what I am speaking is actually for your own good, then naturally you will want that. And you will understand. And he said, I was alone, but now I have 500 people who are speaking on my behalf. Means they are speaking what they heard from me, they are preaching to others. 500. So it will not take more than 5 minutes to convert you. Then he really, by showing him this point, because Prabhupada is pure devotee, so he could explain to him and also awaken his devotion that actually the valuable goal is Vishnu, not this sense enjoyment and other things. It is like blind man leading another blind man, and both fall into ditch, dark well. As long as their intelligence does not accept the dust from the feet of devotees, having no material desires, the intelligence of these people will not realize the lotus feet of the Lord, whose secondary goal is destruction of samsara. So here, Naisham Matis Tavat Urukramangrim Sprishati Anartha Pagamo Yat Artaha Mahia Sampada Rajo Bishekam Nishkin Chananam Navrinita Yavat. These are very famous verses. That unless you get dust from the feet of Nishkinchan devotee, has no any material desires, no any material possessions, only desire to serve Krishna. Unless you get dust from his feet on your head or all over your body, but then your mind cannot go to Krishna. It is impossible. And they will not realize the lotus feet of Supreme Lord. And realization of Supreme Lord as a secondary effect also destroys this material existence. That is by Nama Bhas only. You can remember Ajamil, he was good Brahmin, but by bad association he became sinful. But by previous Sukriti he named his son Narayan, so when the time of death came, he called his youngest son Narayan, whom he was attached, Narayan, Narayan. Then that became Nama Bhas, because he was without any offenses to Vishnu and Vaishnava. So he was released from all sins and he got liberation by Nama Bhas only. Actually, Vishnu Chakur Thakur explained, generally we are not hearing this because it is more difficult to understand for common people. Ajamil was already rescued when he named his son by that first name, not at the end of that. Already he was rescued, and then he is explaining how this is, but it is little difficult to comprehend. So generally it is, we say, that time. Then Vishnu Dutas came and stopped Yamadutas and spoke the glories of Supreme Lord and about the name and everything. Then Ajamil was hearing. Then based on that hearing, that Harikatha, now with firm faith in Vishnu, he went to Vishnu Mandir in Haridwar and was chanting with faith. Then by that he got Vaikuntha Seva. So, secondary goal, primary goal is not. That is by Nama Bhas you can get Mukti. But real goal is service of Supreme Lord. After Prahlad had finished speaking, Hiranyakashipu, blinded by anger, threw him off his lap onto the ground. Here our Gurudev explained, he was thinking, oh, not only Vishnu, now you became a servant of dog of Vishnu, because he told you I got devotion to Vishnu from his devotee. Oh, so now you became a servant of a dog of Vishnu. He became so angry. Intolerant and angry, his reddish eyes burning like molten copper, Hiranyakashipu said, O demons, take this boy away. He deserves to be killed. Kill him immediately. This low person, giving up his family of well-wisher, is the killer of my brother, for he worships the feet of Vishnu, the killer of his uncle, as if he were his servant. Although Prahlad is only 5 years old, being unfit, he has given up affection for his father and mother, which is difficult to reject. Will he put his faith in Vishnu? Like there is no guarantee. Already he gave us up. So where is the guarantee that he will keep faith in Vishnu? Because they were hesitating, these demons, because he is a son of king, how they can kill him. But now Hiranyakashipu is giving them the reasons why it should be done. Someone else's child, if beneficial like a medicinal herb, is treated like a son. Maybe another son, but if he's beneficial, then it is okay. A son who is unbeneficial, though coming from one's own body, is like disease. A limb which is unbeneficial should be cut off. By cutting it off, one can finally live happily. Like gangrene, if you get, that can spread to other parts. So you have to cut that part for the benefit of the rest of the body. Like that he said, yes, he is my son, but he is unbeneficial. So he has to be killed like a disease. But if someone else's son is beneficial to us, then he should be treated like a son. This enemy, disguised as friend, like uncontrolled senses for a sage. He knows this also. Prahlad Maharaj also will tell him later on that uncontrolled senses are actually enemy and uncontrolled mind. So disguised as a friend, like uncontrolled senses for a sage, should be killed by some means while he eats, sits, or sleeps. Here in commentary, he should be killed by putting poison in his food and other means. There is also another example, like in forest, that thorn tree is there, so that should be cut. Though his own garden, but that should be cut. So like that, Prahlad is our own, but should be killed because he's enemy's side. Ordered by their master, the demons with fearful faces, sharp teeth and reddish, coppery beards and hair, making fearful sounds, shouted, chop him, pierce him. With tridents in their hands, they began attacking Prahlad, who was seated at all the vital points on his body. Just as pious acts have no effect on a misfortunate person, the demons had no effect on Prahlad, whose body was embraced by the Supreme Lord, the soul of all things, the Supreme Brahman, who is spread everywhere without change and possesses inconceivable powers. Here in commentary, his body was connected with the Lord, since it was previously said that he was embraced by Govinda. He was like a child protected on the lap of his father. Then the question is, then did the weapons attack the limbs of the Lord? No, that is impossible. The Lord is the Supreme Brahman, spread everywhere without change, with inconceivable powers. He is the soul of everything, and thus the controller of all weapons. How could weapons strike him? Apunya Seva means a person with misfortune. He is controller of all weapons. He made such law in this material creation that sword will pierce and kill someone's body. But that is by his will. But he is behind everything, so he can change that function. He can do anything because he has inconceivable powers. That is why our Srila Bhakti Rakshidhar Dev Goswami Maharaj told, this scientific research is not reliable. First of all, with these limited senses, how much they can research, how much they can know. And what they invent, that was already existing before. They did not create. And another point is what is invented today as a fact if Krishna wants, he can change anytime that. He can show in another way, like hypnotist, and that will be reality. So this scientific research by observation and experiment is not reliable because senses are unreliable and because material nature is controlled by Supreme Lord. So here, though he was attacked by all weapons, but these weapons could not harm Prahlad by the will of Supreme Lord. O King Yudhishthir, when all the attempts failed, the king of the demons, Hiranyakashipu, being most fearful, stubbornly tried other means to kill him. When Hiranyakashipu could not kill his innocent son by throwing him beneath the feet of big elephants, throwing him among huge snakes, employing destructive spells, black magic, hurling him from the tops of hills, conjuring up illusory tricks, imprisoning him, administering poison, starving him, exposing him to severe cold, winds, fire, and water, or throwing heavy stones on him to crush him, he began to contemplate the situation deeply. He did not succeed in killing him. How this is possible? He's a small boy. He threw him on the ground with great force. Every child will die, and then demons tried to kill him by swords. Now he's trying in this so many ways, but he cannot kill him. How this is possible? Without the will of Krishna, Hari Rakhe Mare Ke. If Krishna wants to protect, who can kill you? And here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling, the plural case indicates that he tried each method many times. He was thinking, okay, now it did not work, giving him poison. Again he tried. Each method he tried many times, but could not kill him. I have called him many ill names and have devised many means of killing him, but he was freed from all these violent spells by his own powers. Though he is only a child and is not far from me, he remains energetic in mind, never forgetting my enemy Vishnu. He is capable of escaping death like Shunach Shepa. Here means our Gurudev also gave this example. He is resilient like a dog's tail. Shunach Shepa is also the name of the middle son of Ajigartha, who was sold to Harishchandra by his parents as a sacrifice. He did not remember their harm to him and took shelter of Vishwamitra and became a member of his family. He was thus saved from being killed. Prahlad was similarly able to escape death. If you read our Gurudev's Puranic Charitavali book, then you can get that history of Harishchandra and this. And dog's tail. When you pull, then it can be straight. But immediately when you release, it will go to his previous. You cannot keep it straight. Impossible. Like that, you cannot kill Prahlad. He has unlimited power, is fearless and deathless. Perhaps opposing him will bring my death. Hiranyakashipu thinking. While he was thinking in this way, bereft of bodily luster, with downcast face, Sanda and Tamarka spoke to him in private. If you want to give any advice to one superior person, guru, parents or something, or boss, then always you have to give in private place. Others should not be there because then it is embarrassing, like he's getting advice from us. So always in private. Our Bhaktivinoda Thakur also told, if those who are superiors, like in family elders or something, or even guru, or if they give some wrong instructions, then in private place you should explain to them and request them not to give you such advice or such instruction. By explaining that it is not according to scripture and it is not good, then if still they will persist, then you should not follow. Give due respect but not follow. But first you should try to make them understand. So here Sanda and Tamarka, they spoke in private. You have conquered the three worlds by yourself. The Devatas are afraid of the mere movement of your brow. This. O Master, we do not see that it is worthwhile to think about unobtainable desires. We do not take seriously the good and bad behavior of children. Because we will understand the good or bad nature of his intelligence after his childhood. Now he's just a child. That will change. We'll see. So don't judge now bad and good behavior. This is not important now. Keep him bound with Varuna's ropes so that he does not run away in fear. His intelligence will develop with age and service to the Acharya when Shukracharya arrives. So when our Guru comes back from forest, then he will be engaged in his service, then he will get proper intelligence with age and this seva. Accepting the instructions of Sanda and Tamarka, Hiranyakashipu said, instruct Prahlad on the duties of householder kings. O king, thereafter Sanda and Tamarka systematically and unceasingly taught Prahlad Maharaj, who was submissive and humble, about mundane religion, economic development, and sense gratification. For kings, only Dharma, Artha, Kama, no moksha. That is not for kings. Because they are in pravriti mark, in this worldly process, tendency. Just as he considered what was previously taught by the teachers to him concerning Artha, Dharma, and Kama to be wrong, he considered these teachings concerning topics of material enjoyment to be wrong. When the teacher went home and attended to his household affairs, the students of the same age as Prahlad Maharaj would call him for playing. Smiling with compassion, Prahlad, who was very intelligent, knowing that the boys would accept him as a teacher, responded to them with a sweet voice. They all had respect for him. Then, in Vishnu Chakra Thakur telling in commentary, he smiled slightly, thinking, these boys have fallen into the net of Lord's mercy. Now he will give them mercy. Means Lord will give mercy through Prahlad. So he was smiling, he was satisfied that this opportunity came. Respectful to him, all the boys, whose minds were uncorrupted by the actions and words of the Brahmanas teaching about material pleasure, gave up their toys and sat around him. That time they were not engaged in those things. They were small boys, 5 years age. O king, being compassionate and friendly, the great devotee, born in a demonic family, spoke to the boys who had placed their minds and eyes upon him alone. This is the nature of devotee. He has compassion for other brothers and sisters, jivas coming from same Supreme Lord. He sees their suffering, so he is compassionate to them and wants to bring them to the service of Krishna. This is one kind of service to Krishna also. So I will read the verse because this verse is very famous. Shri Praharat Uvach. Kaumara acharet pragyo dharman bhagavatam iha durlabam manusham janma tat api adruvam artadam. Prahlad said, the wise person should practice bhakti yoga in his life from youth. Kaumaram. Human birth is rare and transient, means temporary, but effective for bhakti or artadam. This is similar to that verse we are always hearing. This human birth is very rare. After 8 million births in other species we get, and it is temporary, but it is artadam. You can get ultimate goal of life in human birth only. In means you can accept devotion to Supreme Lord. In other lives also they can get, but that is by special causeless mercy of some pure devotee, like dogs, animals, trees, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he was rescuing. But willingly, the human birth is capable. So here in the commentary, at the end of the last chapter, it was mentioned that Prahlad was compassionate and friendly. What did he tell the boys? That is explained now. At Kaumara age, that is 5 years, one should practice dharma. Then they said, demon boys, but in youth a person is unqualified for varna ashram dharma. Then Prahlad is saying, this dharma is related to the Lord, Bhagavad Dharma. I meant Bhagavad Dharma, not varna ashram dharma. Means hearing and chanting. Then again they are saying, but a person will be successful starting during Yovana, means that is later on. No, the wise person, Pragya, understands that perhaps he will die at the end of Kaumara age, like 9 years old. Who knows when he will die? So, no. And thus his life would be wasted. There is no guarantee how long you will live. So now you have to start. Then demon boys, again they said, but why worry? In a future life one can practice bhakti. Then Prahlad is replying, birth as a human is very rare. There is no guarantee you will get it again. One attains human form by good fortune, and it is transient. Though you exist today, it is not certain you will exist tomorrow. Then the demon boys, again they said, how can bhakti be perfected in such a short time? Then Prahlad is saying, human birth is effective, artadam. One sees that Katvanga, king, and others achieve success by having bhakti for only a few moments. Katvanga Raja, you can remember, he was fighting on the demigod side against demons, and they won. Then demigods, they offered him boon. What? We are very happy with you. What do you want? You want health, wealth, wife, children, weapons, this property, what? Everything will give you. Then he asked them, how much time I will live, you tell me. Then one demigod astrologer, he checked. Then he said only one muhurta, means one moment. That means 24 minutes or 48, some say. Then he said, then you rescue me from death? Then they said, no, this we cannot do. Only Vishnu can do. Then he immediately left the association of demigods and went to Vishnu and took complete shelter of Vishnu, and he got Vishnu Seva. 1 second, I'm getting so many messages. So it is no problem. Now you start and quickly you can get result. Few moments, not only Katanga, others also. That moment when you will surrender to Supreme Lord, you can get him. One should perform bhakti by the methods which allow one to surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord, since the Lord is a dear lover, a son, Brahman, the master and the friend of all beings. They asked, how should one practice Bhagavad Dharma? One should perform it by the method which enables one to surrender to the lotus feet of Vishnu. So which are these four methods? And he gave one verse. The devotees in the spiritual world are deprived of any enjoyment. My wheel of time does not afflict those devotees, any material enjoyment. My wheel of time does not afflict those devotees for whom I am lover, the Atma, son, friend, elder, companion, or worshipable deity. So means, thus among the bhavas of Madhurja, that is Priya in the verse, Shantarati, Atma, Dasya, Ishvara, or Sakya Suhrit, one should surrender to the Lord by whichever bhava one desires. Thus it is said that one should perform Bhagavad Dharma. One should perform these dharmas. This is an order for performance of Raga Bhakti. Prahlad has also taught the fifth bhava called Vatsalya by taking another meaning in the word Atma, since Atma can mean son. So Krishna can be your son also. Lover, friend, son, or master. So, and Atma like a Shantaras also. So you have to worship him in that bhava which you like, in Raga Bhav, in Raganuga that you have to do. Of course, we can practice according to our qualification. When you perform devotion, Shravan Kirtan, what he told, in a regulated manner, and when your heart becomes purified and you become attached to Supreme Lord as a master, then after, when you will hear Krishna Lila with different devotees, then some natural attraction will come from your Atma for specific bhav. When that bhav will be confirmed by bona fide Guru, then he will show you the way, how you can develop that. They're demons, just as all beings attain distress without endeavor. They attain happiness of the senses in all species just by connection with the body. The commentary: having attained a human form, one should not endeavor for material happiness. Happiness and distress are the qualities of the body. Thus, by attaining a body, one attains both of these. Sarvatra means in animal or other bodies. He wanted to say to them, no one wants to get distress or disease or something, but it comes. You don't want what comes automatically. Like that happiness of the senses, that will also come automatically by your past karma. So you don't give time to this. Don't endeavor for that. Automatically it will come. Like distress also is automatically coming. Just you having a body, that will automatically come. One should not endeavor for material happiness, since it simply depletes one's lifespan. It means you are wasting your time. By that method, one gains no benefit. One gains benefit from worshipping the lotus feet of Mukunda. Now, someone will say, then we will not do any work, we will not eat, we will not sleep. This only we will chant on Japa Mala 24 hours. No, that is not meant. It meant that you should worship Supreme Lord by Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran, all devotional forums, and you only do how much it is necessary for maintenance of your body so that you can do devotion. And such job and such that it is favorable for devotion. Not too much, not too less, and according to your Varna, Ashram, Dharma nature, in that way, according to that position, in that way, only for the maintenance for the sake of Krishna. But not thinking that if I will now work for material happiness, for sense enjoyment, that is very good. No, Prahlad said, no, that is not, that is waste of time, such thinking. That will take you nowhere. Don't work for that. You serve Krishna, and in the service of Krishna, proper maintenance also is there. So that also becomes bhakti then. The skillful person, fearful of falling from his position, should endeavor for his benefit as long as he remains capable in the human form. So anytime we may lose this human body. So should endeavor for his benefit, means eternal benefit, as long as he remains capable. One thing is that as long as we have this body, and also another, old age is difficult. Here means hearing fearfully that one falls from one's position by not worshipping the Lord. From that verse, Stanat Brashtach Patanti Adha, one worships the Lord. This is the meaning of Bhayam Ashritaha. This is an injunction for Vaidhi Bhakti. Pushkala means well nourished because of absence of old age and disease. Thus it indicates as long as one is capable of endeavoring. In old age and in disease, very difficult to endeavor. So Vaidhi Bhakti, the stimulation is, Supreme Lord is your master. If you will not worship him, then you will fall down and you will go to hell, you will suffer like this. So that inspires them to worship. That is Vaidhi Bhakti. But Raganuga means you are attracted by one type of service in Vrindavan and you want to attain that. That is stimulus. Every human being has as his duration of life 100 years. But for one who cannot control his senses, half of those years are completely useless because at night he sleeps, covered by ignorance. Now, the way in which one wastes one's life is described. One is by sleeping. For the first 10 years, one is in ignorance. From the age of 10 to 15, one engages in playing. One spends 20 years afflicted by invalidity due to old age. If you are lucky, 20 years invalidity due to old age. And another 20 years because you may die before already. Or you suffer both. That is approximately meant here. The point is there that how our life is going. And another 20 years incapable of doing anything. The person attached to family life and inattentive to his goal wastes the remaining years in household life, bewildered by strong desires that cannot be fulfilled. I will get so much money, I will get wife, I will get children, I will be happy, will go to sea, will enjoy, all these strong desires there. What person with uncontrolled senses is able to free himself when attached to the house? He is bound tightly by the strong ropes of affection. Here in the commentary, even though the person may realize that he should worship Krishna, he is unable to do so due to attachment. Therefore, from the Kaumara age, means at the age of 5, one should begin worshipping the Lord. One can perfect one's worship only by producing attachment to worship and by being unattached to anything else. There is no other method. So as a child, you are not attached to this household life, home, this family, husband, wife, children, no. So that time you start. Later on, when you will be attached, there is no more time. Who can give up the thirst for money, which is dearer than the life heirs, and for which the thief, servants, and merchant risk their lives? Here in commentary, this verse illustrates the strength of material attachment. Wealth is dearer than the life heirs. That is explained. Thieves risk their lives by entering the house of a wealthy man at night to steal, because they may be killed by owner or police. Servants of the king risk their lives by going to war for the king. Merchants risk their lives by going to difficult places across the ocean for more and more money. So, how can a person, remembering his private association with his affectionate wife and their pleasing conversations, give her up? Bound by affection to his children, attracted to their simple words, remembering his association with those children, remembering his sons, how can he give them up? How can he give up daughters who touch his heart, or brothers, sisters, dependent father and mother, houses with furniture, means of livelihood passed down in the family, domestic animals and servants? Just as silkworm builds a cocoon with no exit and thus perishes, the foolish person, acting out of lust, with unsatisfied desires, giving importance to the happiness of the genital and tongue, builds a trap with no escape. How can this person, under great illusion, become detached? Silkworm who is making a home for him from that cotton or that. But ultimately, he makes such a house that there is no exit from there. So he dies there inside. Like that, one is working for this happiness and in all these ways, and he gives importance to the happiness of the genital and tongue, builds a trap with no escape. Then, in such illusion, how he can come out? How he can become detached? How he can worship Supreme Lord? So it is better you start doing bhajan now. And later it will not be possible. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also told to Raghunath Das Goswami, Jihvar lalase jai iti uti dhai Shishno dar parayan Krishna nahi pai. Means for the greed of his tongue, Jihvar lalase, he wants to eat nice food. He goes here and there, either to get that different restaurant like this, or for earning so that he can enjoy that. And Shishno means genitals, and Udar means belly, stomach, for eating, wants to eat more. One who is servant, Parayan means servant, you can say in simple language, Parayan, devoted servant, Krishna nahi pai, he cannot get Krishna. One who, for the sake of tongue, belly and genitals, goes here and there to get those, he cannot get Krishna. So tomorrow we will further hear what Prahlad Maharaj is teaching demon boys. Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was hearing Prahlad Charit again and again. He came to taste Radha Bhav. What is the necessity of hearing these things? Why not Ras Lila and those? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to rescue all fallen souls. And he taught by example that for conditioned souls, those who are attached to this world, they have to learn this teaching and they have to apply it. Then, when they will worship Krishna and giving up all these things, then they can also attain that Braja Bhav, not all of a sudden. So he heard this about Dhruva and Prahlad. We have to get the teaching and apply in our life. So tomorrow we'll further hear. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hari Bolo, 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 Hari Bolo. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Gandharvika Giridhari Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Shri Radha Madan Mohan Panchatatatmak Shri Gaura Hari ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Shri Radha Nayana Nath Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Gaura Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Jagannath Dev ki Jai. Jai Patit Pavan Shila Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Shila Parang Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Shila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupanuga Guruvari ki Jai. Jai Shri Panchatattva Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Brinda Devi Tulsi Devi ki Jai. Jai Sarva Vigna Vinashanakari Shri Nrisingha Dev ki Jai. Jai Shri Hari Basar Titi Bara ki Jai. Jai Shri Mohini Ekadashi Titi Bara ki Jai. Jai Shri Ekadashi Brata ki Jai. Jai Brata Palankari Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Shila Ambarish Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Shri Shrivas Angane Shri Harinam Sankirtan Kari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Shri Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Jai Shri Pralat Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Ananta Kuti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Samagata Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Gaur Pramanande Hari. Thank you all. Dandot Pranam Hari.